Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Stunning, absolutely stunning news coming out this morning from Manchester United. You just never know what's going to come out, do you? And I think Jose Mourinho and Manchester United this morning must be thinking, what the hell is going on? This is an absolute PR disaster. And Fellaini, I would hope, is either in a very strong position knowing what his future is, or you need to get a new PR guy, Marouane, because a disaster. Now, whichever side of the fence you sit on, you may be Fellaini out, you may be Fellaini in. The reality is, Mourinho has been begging him to stay for 4 months. Even when he was injured, he was begging him to stay. So we know what Manchester United want. We know what Mourinho wants. After the match on Sunday, Fellaini scores the winning goal, puts himself into a very strong position. Even some people are saying Fellaini should stay. He's really important to us. Fellaini's in a strong position. Mourinho comes out and says, until I see the ink on the paper, I'm not 100% sure, but it's looking very likely. We all assume he's going to stay. Some of us aren't happy with that. Some people think, yeah, he's a great bench option. Some people think he symbolises everything that's been wrong with United over the last 5 years. De Gea, world-class goalkeeper, winning 4 out of 5 Player of the Years when nobody's ever won, no goalkeeper's ever won the Manchester United Player of the Year award since '88. De Gea's won 4 of the last 5. It shows you we've become a defensive team. So we're in that situation. We've got that situation, and Fellaini speaks to Sport or something like that. It's now everywhere. I read it in the Manchester Evening News, to be fair, but it's absolutely everywhere. He's in this strong position. He knows the manager wants him. The club want him. We know he's going to sign a contract. He's got some people back on board. What does Fellaini do? He basically spews vents. He vents and says, I want, and I will quote you these things, but basically, I've got Manchester United by the balls. I've got them by the balls. They made a mistake last year. I wanted a contract last year. They didn't give it me. I asked again. I didn't get it. I'm not waiting around 10 times. A good player like myself costs £50 million. They've made a mistake. I'm quite happy to go to China. I'll take my family with me. I've got lots of options. And, Manchester United made a mistake. So basically, maybe some people felt he's been holding the club to ransom for the last few months anyway, because Mourinho's been begging for 3 months. I think officially, well, the interpretation is whatever interpretation you want to take from the quotes that have been put out there. And until Fellaini denies them, which I don't think he's going to, they are stunning comments. And I think Jose Mourinho will be absolutely gutted because... And Manchester United will be gutted because this is a player that Mourinho has said he wants to stay at the club. This is a club that Manchester United have backed Mourinho on, and they're trying to get him to sign a new contract. The last thing they want is a player coming out, making them look a bit silly, and also a player that divides opinion anyway. He's not going to do himself any favours. I mean, he's acting like he's Lionel Messi, which is great. It's about time he did something like that, but on the pitch would have been better. But he really is acting like, I've been playing really well lately. I'm suddenly an important player. They should have signed me a year ago. And I thought Fellaini was going to stay. And obviously I felt very sick about that on Sunday night because it's not the sort of player, I don't mind the individual, it's not the sort of player I want at the club. I now think that he's leaving because I can't see how he comes back from that. He's basically made Mourinho look stupid. He's basically made the club look silly. And how's he done that? He's made Mourinho look stupid because Mourinho's been begging him for 3 or 4 months, and he's now said, well, I don't know, suddenly I'm important, I can do what I want. He's made the club look stupid because he's basically saying Fellaini's bigger than United because I've got options and it's their own stupid fault for not sorting it out a year ago. And more importantly, I think in relation to a fan channel, he will have upset a lot of United fans who are like, all right, Marouane, we understand why you want to stay at United, you're living the dream, mate, but to come out with comments like that, basically big-headed and up yourself, and you've got delusions of grandeur, mate. You're a decent bench option. You are not the be-all and end-all. Go. And that's a lot of what's being said on Twitter at the moment. Danny Smith says, just sub to Patreon. Do we get alerts when videos go live? When do you usually put videos on Patreon? Great channel, Mark. Keep it up. Danny, put a video up last night. We normally do a QA on a Thursday. I'll come back to that in a minute. Fellaini, hate him. Then he bags 3 points. What to do, eh? Says Nicola Brangham. Nicola, you've hit the nail on the proverbial head there because he got himself back into a very good position on Sunday night. I mean, not for me, not for some people. I would still like him to leave. As I say, it's not a hate thing. I just don't like that sort of footballer. And I would still want him to leave even after that goal against Arsenal. But a lot of people did say, I want him to stay. I like him. I like his effort levels and everything like that. he's probably gone and lost a lot of those people who are in his corner now, because you can't do that. You just can't do that. You can't come out with comments like that. A few people are saying, what are the actual quotes? So I'll read them to you now. So basically he's saying, the entire staff is doing everything I can. The entire staff is doing everything it can to make me stay. I'm in a strong position, especially since Mourinho has stated that he wants to keep me. Last year I went to the coach and I said I wanted a new contract. I then had a second meeting, but I will not ask it 10 times. Afterwards, I've become an important player for the team, and a good player costs at least 50 million. The club knows that they went wrong there. Now, He also, I have read quotes about the China thing and how he's not opposed to going to China. It doesn't bother him. He likes to travel and he'll take his family with him. For me, I just think he's going to go now. I think he's going to go now. I think he's justifying why he's going to go. I think if the club had offered him a contract last year, he would have took it. But as I've said before, I mean, take out the emotion from it. If you're Marouane Fellaini, you know in a month's time. And actually, since January, he can speak to clubs outside the Premier League. But in a month's time, he can even speak to Premier League clubs. We can't stop him going to Liverpool if he wants to. But, you know, he can go anywhere he wants to go. And as I've said before, if United want to keep him now, they'd have to offer him big money. Because there is no signing on fee for wherever he goes. So Fellaini, you know what? In fairness to Fellaini, in today's market, he's got to be worth, at 30 years of age, he's got to be worth 25 million, hasn't he? I would say 25 million is the ceiling. He's worth 25 million. So if Fenerbahce or PSG get him, or whoever gets him, they're getting a player who's worth 25 million pounds for free. So Fellaini and his agent would say, look, you're getting me for free. 25 million is what you would normally have to play United. You can pay at least me half of that as a signing on fee. So 12 million signing on fee. And also, I want 150 grand a week. I want 150 grand a week and I want a 12 million pound signing on fee. Because to get me normally, you've got to pay double that anyway. And the club will do that. So from United's point, to get him, they've got to give him 150 grand a week. But also, where's the 12 million coming from that I would get anyway? So this is the mess. It is a mess. If you're a Fellaini in person, what he's saying is right. The club have made a big mess of this. They have made a big mess. And Mourinho's probably not happy about that either, because Mourinho, in fairness to him, he wants Fellaini to stay. And in fairness to some fans, they want Fellaini to stay. And the club have made a mess of it. Because if you're in Fellaini's position, like I just said there, why should he just sign for 120 grand a week? Why? I can have a big sign-on fee and I can get bigger wages elsewhere. So he is right. But the timing of the comments suggests to me that he's made his position untenable. And he's basically putting out there why he's going. Because I don't see how you can say all those things that he said, and basically, I'm in control now, they're begging me, I'm in control, and it's their own fault if I leave. Would you really do that if you're getting what you want from the club, or two, you're really thinking about staying? I don't think he's going to stay now. I don't think he is. In the league, we lost against Chelsea. No, I'm not going to talk about that. Club has been indecisive, says Samuel R. Tabish says at least we can win the title now. I hate Fellaini, he should leave now, says Castle. I want Fellaini to leave ASAP, says Damien. Fellaini for first team football. Matic is finished. Fellaini's the best United player of all time if fans give him a chance, says Chronic Tie. And worth losing 25 million in my mind, says Andrew Wilkinson. It's made my day, says Jonathan Phantom. It's not over yet. It's not over yet, Jonathan. I mean, I think he's going to go, but I'm probably 60%. On Monday, after them comments by Mourinho, I was 99% sure he was going to stay. I think I'm 60% sure he's going to go now, because I don't see how you come back from those comments. But the way Mourinho's begged him in the past, I wouldn't be surprised if he stayed now. And if he does stay, it really is a big indicator that actually not really bothered what the fans think, because a lot of fans will be really annoyed by what he said today. And they'll be really annoyed that the club is bending over backwards for a player who actually, let's be honest, none of the top six would want apart from us. And he is a decent bench option. But why is that? And also it's embarrassing. It really is embarrassing, because I've had text messages on my phone, which is being charged in the kitchen, otherwise I would show you. I've had text messages on my phone from Liverpool fans saying, ha ha ha, we're playing for a final place tonight. Fellaini's just mugged you off to the world. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I can't come back to that. I can't come back at that. And that is embarrassing. It is embarrassing. Although I do actually agree with Fellaini from his point of view, and I have to think from a Manchester United point, but from his point of view, he is in a position of power. He has got the club by the balls. He has got a manager begging him. He has got a club wanting him to stay. And he's in a position of power. And I don't like that, but he is. Kevin says, Fellaini going will be music to my ears. And I'm going to be optimistic and say he's 100% leaving. Fellaini is the last remaining mistake of Moyes, says Andrew Southwick. Well, the interesting thing about that, Andrew, and to everybody else, is that, look, I'm not... If Fellaini goes, it's the right thing for Manchester United. But am I happy? No, I'm not. Because if Fellaini goes, he goes of his own free will. He's not going for the reasons some of us think he should go. He should be, and I saw a great piece by Mark Ogden today as well. I think it was in ESPN. And he said, you know, this Fellaini-Manchester United relationship has run its course. It needs to end for the best of both parties. It's run its course. You've got a lot of fans who don't want him at the club. You've got Fellaini who's not appreciated. You've got a manager who's obsessed with him. And you've got a club who backs that manager. And it just doesn't work, because whenever he comes on, there's a grunt at Old Trafford, because it's like, oh, we're going long ball. And that's not what the fans want. And it's not fair on Fellaini. It's not fair on the fans. It's not even fair on Mourinho. And this needs to come to an end. But for me to be happy about that, what I actually wanted was the manager to move him on in a nice way and say thank you, but that's not what we're having anymore. What we're actually going to have if Fellaini goes is Fellaini deciding he's going to go with a manager like this. Oh, why are you going? And that doesn't make me happy. That makes me think, well, Fellaini's gone, but is that long ball option gone? Or is he going to just go and sign somebody else? Because Mourinho wants him to stay. And I want Mourinho to have year 3. So part of me thinks, you know, sod it. Fellaini stay, let Mourinho have what he wants. Because Mourinho next season is probably not going to be very happy about Fellaini going. And he can always say, well, I lost Fellaini, I wanted him to stay. You know, I suppose it's a bit sadistic in a way, but I would rather Fellaini stayed now if Mourinho wants him to stay, so he can prove us wrong or fall on his sword that many of us think he is doing with Fellaini. But Fellaini going because United are there begging him to stay and him going, no, I'm off for more money. That's not really the result, is it? I know some people think it is a good result because Fellaini goes, but it isn't really the result when our manager wants that player to stay and wants that style of football to stay. It's not a big result, is it? It's not. It's not. I don't think it is. Fellaini is the next Zidane, says Tejas. It's a love-hate thing with Afro Man, says Ricky Smith. And Giles' performance was saying that in all the games we've lost, Fellaini didn't participate in those games. He played against Sevilla. And if Fellaini goes, Jose could use that as another excuse as to why we don't win the league next season, says Adam Smith. I don't think he'll be able to genuinely do a press conference without people laughing, saying I didn't win the league because I didn't have Fellaini. But I think he will moan about it. And I think you know, whatever we think as fans, I think I'm just surprised. I really am surprised that Fellaini, in such a strong position, scoring a winner against Arsenal, puts himself into this really strong position today, and then comes out with those comments. I'm surprised because he had the new contract sorted. I think Mourinho will be sat there thinking, oh, Maron, what are you doing? What are you doing? I've finally got into a position where I can get away with signing you without there being civil war because you scored a winner and you did a good job. And then you've gone and done that. All the good stuff that we've built up over the last few days, you've thrown it in the bin. You've made me look stupid. But I still think he'll keep him if he can. I think he's going to go Christopher White, but I'm only 60% because I think United are going to have to do something to flip that round because they want him to stay and Mourinho wants him to stay and there's a lot of negativity around Fellaini now. They need to flip that back. They need to do something back. Now maybe we can play him up front against Brighton and he'll score a hat-trick and everyone will say he needs to stay. Maybe that's the next act. So I wouldn't say he's definitely going, but I think he's put himself in a very difficult position now. Maybe Fellaini has seen the backlash of his goal and just doesn't want him, says Carmichael. It's a great point. I wish I'd read that first. Well, you've only just put it there. It's a great point. Maybe Fellaini has read a lot of the stuff on social media and, you know, I'd have to put my hands up and say he might have read, you know, I would be one of those contributors. I can't lie. I mean, fan opinion and fan channels is about fan opinion, isn't it? We're not there to, you know, it's not about, you know, it's about the conversations you have on the train or the bus or at school, isn't it? You know, those opinions should not be censored. I don't like the fact, as I said before, that United have become quite a defensive football side. And that's not just Mourinho, that's Van Gaal and Moyes. As I said at the start, De Gea's won 4 of the last 5 Player of the Year awards. And De Gea is world class, without question, best goalkeeper in the world, but he shouldn't be winning Player of the Year. Schmeichel was world class, best in the world. He didn't win Player of the Year because we were an attacking team and the attackers take the prize. And that's why Schmeichel never won Player of the Year. De Gea wins Player of the Year because when you look at it on paper, without De Gea, we might have been finishing 8th or 9th some of these seasons, certainly under Van Gaal. So we are a defensive team. We are a team that likes to go long ball, and that's why I would like Fellaini to go. But that's why I want him to go. You know, it's never been a personal thing for me. Marty says Fellaini doesn't improve us. Ashvin says maybe it's a smoke screen to offload him at a higher price. I'd love to believe that, Ashvin, but people are going to be blasting into the live comments now. We get nothing for Fellaini. There is no smoke screen and there is no ploy by United to get a high price here. He goes for nothing next month. He's out of contract. We get nothing for him. Absolutely nothing. And that's where Fellaini is right, really. United should have, you know, if he was asking a year ago, I mean, that's a question in itself. If Fellaini's telling the truth, and there's no reason to think not, if he was asking for a contract a year ago and we said no, and we've left it right till now, from a business point of view, it makes no sense because he's going to go for free. He's going to go for free. Anyway, I'm going to give you all a little bit of an exclusive thing here at the end of this video. We are, on the United Stand, going to be doing United Stand's Got Talent. But think Britain's Got Talent, but think United Stand. So what we're going to be doing over the next few weeks is we are looking to grow the United Stand community and the people involved with the United Stand. One of the themes is we're looking for a new sort of, I don't like the term, a new Mark Goldbridge. We're looking for, I'm not going anywhere anyway, but we're looking for somebody to get involved in front of the camera. We're also looking for people involved in websites, social media, anything you can think, merchandising, anything you think you can bring to the table. soccerboxtv@gmail.com is the email. And if you want to get involved with the United Stand, send us an email, bit of a resume, what your specialist skills are, what you'd like to get involved in, whether at university or anything like that. soccerboxtv@gmail.com. Get involved with that. Also, if you're thinking about in front of the camera, what we're looking for is 30-second clips of you just doing something expressive, passionate about United. Any topic you want, 30 seconds. soccerboxtv@gmail.com. Do it on your phone, do it with the proper camera, send it to us, because what we're going to do with the people on camera is every show we're going to put 2 up with a poll, and you, the community, are going to vote them off. You know, Britain's Got Talent, you know, through to the next round. So depending on how many we get, we might have a round of 32, quarterfinals, semi-finals, final, but you will choose the next person to get involved with the channel. So soccerboxtv@gmail.com. You might be a businessman with some ideas. You might be a student who wants to get involved into writing. You might be a social media expert. You might be someone who wants to get in front of the camera. United Stand's always been your channel, and this is something we're going to be looking at over the summer to get more people involved with it. So soccerboxtv@gmail.com. Send us your video clips, what you want to get involved with, etc., etc. The door is open, and you, the community, are going to have a big say in what's going to happen. So really looking forward to that, really looking forward to it. And remember, I wasn't planning on doing a 1 o'clock video today, but Fellaini's sort of allowed us to do it. So do smash a like on the video. I'll tell you what, put a like on the video if you want Fellaini to go. Simple as that, isn't it? And let's just see how quickly that goes up. And also, a big shout out for the Transfer Daily. We're doing it 7 o'clock every morning, and there is one up from this morning about Anthony Martial, Ruben Neves, Pulisic, Luke Shaw, and Fosu Mensah. Some interesting stuff in there if you haven't watched it from this morning. In fact, I think if you click the eye in the top right hand corner, it will take you through. It's only a 10-minute video. So thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you support Transfer Daily. And also, you really need to get your notifications on, because we're going into the summer area now, which means things like this Fellaini thing, wasn't planning on going live, we go live. And that could happen 11 o'clock, 4 o'clock. This is what happens in the summer. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. And once you subscribe, click your bell and then tick to get all notifications, because I wouldn't want you to miss it. We see people joining late and going, oh, what's going on? Thanks, everybody. Go and watch Transfer Daily and get involved with United Stand's Got Talent. soccerboxtv@gmail.com. Send us your videos, send us your ideas, whatever it is. You might be a huge media company. You probably won't be, but you know what I mean. If you want to get involved, let us know. Thanks for watching.